If you're sensitive, soft, or just weak, don't listen to this podcast because today, no one is safe. Let's get it on.
The revolution will be live.
I have heard all kinds of complaining. I have heard all kinds of reasons to complain. And I've also heard so many excuses. But today, and I know this is not a recent, through my investigation, because I always got to do my podcast at least once a week, I found the most ridiculous statement I have ever heard in my life. And believe me when I say, I've heard some whoppers, but this one clearly outshines the rest. Now, I've been in the fitness game for a minute, and I thought I understood the whole eating of excess that kind of puts weight on you, and the intake of calories. Like if you take in 10,000 calories a day, yeah, more than likely you're going to put on a little bit of weight. And your inability to just, say, we're going to abstain from eating all this junk because, I want to live to be 80, 85. But today I heard that there is a new reason for black women to be called or considered obese. This is quoted by Professor Crunk, Britteny Cooper. Research shows black women lose weight more slowly than white women, and the Trump presidency may be exacerbating the situation. Cooper said on this program, according to campusreform.org, "We are living in the Trump era," she said, "and look at those policies. They're killing our people. You can't get access to good health care or good insurance." I am not one to sit there and speak about insurance or health care because I have both. I have insurance and I have health care. One I have through USAA and the other I have through the military because I did my time. I retired from the military and they're obligated to take care of me till I die. Thank you very much. But really, in a separate interview, Cooper told campusreform.org she was citing a 1990s information from Dr. Arline Geronimus, a public health research professional at the University of Michigan. I did some research and I actually found something from a very world-renowned doctor. I'm afraid that sometimes you play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll play against you, aka Dr. Seuss. Yes, I just went there. I got ridiculous with it. I would love to blame Trump for a great many things, but the fact that black women are becoming obese due to his policies, yeah, that's a reach. I mean, that black women don't have access to good insurance, once again, that's a reach. I think there's other variances why people can't get good quality insurance. I'm not going to say that being black is a disqualifying factor, but I do know, and I have heard that having previous or prior conditions may disqualify you, but I didn't think being black was a condition, and definitely being a black female. I do know this. There's a reason why people get the general car insurance instead of Allstate or Geico. There's a reason. It might be financial. It might be they just simply don't drive well and nobody else will pick them up. There's a reason for those things. Just like there's a reason that a lot of people can't get good, affordable insurance. Now, I'm not going to say politics doesn't have anything to do with some of those factors. I won't be the first to say that. I will say how you put yourself in that situation is the reason why you can't get affordable care. And I'll be honest with you, I just started a new job and it's a full-time job. And this full-time job came with benefits. And the benefits came in medical, in which I turned down because, like I said, I have my medical through the military. Thank you for doing those 24 years, 5 months. Yeah, I turned those down. But my wife, who also has benefits through her job, accepted certain portions of her benefits, such as dental as well as eyes, and pretty good. So I think one of the ways that you can get good health insurance, get a freaking job. Get a good freaking job that is full time. Don't blame that you have 5 kids and, if you're working, can't nobody take care of the kids. Well, if you wasn't on your back or with your booty up, you wouldn't have them 5 kids. Thank you very much. And I'm not talking about the wife that was married her husband may have passed away, or he just left her for somebody else, or just left in general for whatever reason. I'm not speaking of that. That is a totally different situation, and I'm pretty sure she's going through the courts to get her money. But I'm talking about the women that they believe that having more kids, so when tax time comes, they get more money for their taxes, in which that they're really not working full-time jobs, or I don't know how they get the taxes. I'll be honest with you, because it always bother the crap out of me, but I actually have a job and have always maintained a job since I was 19. So kind of don't fall into that demographic, but I'm different. I joined the military. I was willing to make that sacrifice. And my father told me, and I remember this conversation because I was fast tracking to make rank, and then all of a sudden I kind of hit that plateau and I wasn't going anywhere. And my dad says, I don't care if you don't ever make E7, E8, E9. You retire from the military, because if you retire, they're obligated to take care of you medically. Trust me, it's going to be a factor in your future. And boy, was he correct. So yeah, I'm going to say anything about that. That's a pretty good thought process. That's a wholly different story. This is not about me. This is about those people who are obese because of racism. That's what this is about. Really? So the problem with America as a whole, there's no accountability. No accountability for your actions. No accountability for anything that you do. You always want to blame somebody else. Like I said, if you have 5 kids and you're not working a full-time job because you have 5 kids and you're complaining, well, hey, why don't you go look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and ask yourself that same question? I'll be honest with you. I do understand that love and accidents and mistakes can cause a child to be born. Got it. Maybe twice. Got it. Yeah, but 5 times, I don't got it. I don't get it. Using crutches and certain things to put you in a position that people will feel sorry for. You see, people, and I'm saying people, I'm not saying men or women, I'm saying people, they know America's triggers. So we like to hear, well, this is because of systemic racism. Having 5 kids and you live in the hood is not systemic racism. It's called systemic stupidity. And if it hurts your feelings, I'm sorry, but I'm not. Because the simple fact of the matter is, you were a consenting adult as you continue to have those kids. See, I know this. I'm not saying this for a fact, but I know a lot of women have had not saying a lot of women, let me take that back. Some women have had multiple children in certain situations for that big payday every tax time. And that's what they're looking for. But, before that time and after that time, man, they're struggling. But it is what it is. And well, I'll be honest with you, being stupid isn't limited to a particular race, color, or credo. Okay, you can be black, white, or Asian. I don't care. Stupid is stupid. I know stupid people. I really do. I know one individual that's really, really stupid, and I'm not going to get into that right now because I'm going to leave that to the end. This podcast is actually dedicated to him and his stupidness, because it put me on point for the nation, so to speak, to say, you know what? I'm tired of hearing people talk crap, and I'm tired of people complaining when the problem is really facing them when they look in the mirror. You're the problem, my G. You. In fact, there are far more people in dire situations, than some people or some lady saying that she is obese because of racism and of some study that she read. No, you're obese because you can't stop eating. Are there traumatic triggers that may have caused this? Yes. Could there be a medical condition that may, what they call an active thyroid, cause you to gain weight? Yes. But shoveling 10,000 to 20,000 calories of food in your mouth daily, yeah, that's all you, bruh. That's all you. There's no complaint there. There's no racism there. That's all voluntary. All voluntary. Now, going back to the Affordable Care Act and the Affordable Health Insurance. So my understanding for anyone to get health insurance in the United States is, one, you have to live in the United States. You have to be recognized as a citizen of the United States or be lawfully present, so to speak. And you can't be incarcerated, meaning you can't be in jail. Now, if you're in jail, you got some pretty good health insurance anyway. It ain't the greatest, but you got it for free. And you earn it for whatever reason you did to get you in that situation. So there's nothing there that said, hey, being black means you can't get, no. It's you. It's you. Okay, that's just the bottom line. There's no accountability, and there are some reasonable things to complain about. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can actually say is a reason for certain conditions, physically or mentally, maybe, because there are crazy people out there, and they're either born crazy or they have some type of traumatic event that caused them to go crazy. I got that. That's not a problem. So yeah, that's legitimate. Yet some people think they feel they have a right to complain or to force the public to give them some type of consideration. They use trigger words like racism, discrimination, prejudice. I got a word for you. It's called dystopia, which is imagined state of society in which there is a great suffering or injustice, typically one that is totalitarian or post-apocalyptic. That's what I call it. Is that a stretch? Yes. Am I being sarcastic? Most definitely. I can only say one thing. Stop crying wolf. Stop crying wolf. And I mean this for the transgender community. Oh, you didn't think I was going to jump on the transgender people? Oh, no. Yes, I am. Because for the most part, at least right now, the transgender community are the biggest purveyors of all of this. Oh, they're doing me wrong. Oh, this, that, and the other. No, stop it. You complain so much that nobody's listening anymore. And it's to the point that if you look on YouTube, the people are talking about it. Even the transgender people who have come to grips that, hey, I am who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am. And they moved on. The complainers, they're still stuck in the same place. It's come to the point that if you make a joke now about a transgender person, man, your career is almost over. They went for Dave Chappelle. They went for Kevin Hart. This is crazy. It's a joke. And I'm not going to even go into the point about that transgender lady who committed suicide. For whatever reason, I looked into it, but I kind of felt that blaming Dave Chappelle probably isn't the best idea. And it takes a strong person. Let me say this from jump. It takes a strong person to self-identify as a female if you're a male. It takes a strong person to go through the physical change from male to female. All those are strengths. So to tell me that because of a joke that he may have said caused that person to commit suicide, yeah, I'm not feeling that vibe. No, that's about as made up as transphobia. Yeah, I said it. And can you go on Webster's dictionary or Merriam dictionary? Yeah, you can go on there. But check this out. Phobia. What is a phobia? An extreme or irrational fear of aversion to something. Like, arachnophobia. Oh, I'm scared of spiders. Yeah, I got that. Now, here, we throw trans into it, characterized by having certain groups of atoms on the opposite side of longitudinal axis of a double bond or of the plane of the ring in a molecule. Now we put them together. Transphobia is having or showing a dislike of a prejudice against transsexuals or transgender people. Do you remember what I said earlier about trigger words? It's in there. It's in there. And there's another definition as well that kind of goes back on the play of putting these words together. But initially when you look up transphobic or transphobia, that's what you see. And there goes your trigger word, prejudice, dislike. Phobia is not, I can dislike spiders, okay? But that's not a phobia. I'm afraid of spiders, okay? I'm not afraid of gay people. I'm not afraid of transsexuals. I'm not afraid of them. It just doesn't make any sense. And I could crack a joke right now, but one, I don't want to get demonetized. And two, I don't want people to think that I'm hating because realistically, I'm not. Sooner or later, dysphoria is going to be considered a recognized disability. And then what? Just another complaint. Oh, I'm dysphoric. Oh, I need to get paid by the state. Listen, like I told you in the very beginning, no one is safe today. So if you have that living booty at this point, man, things aren't going to get better. Matter of fact, I'm just midpoint of going in. Now, for whatever reason, Americans think that their right to complain or be uber sensitive about everything. And it isn't a right. Yeah, you have your First Amendment right, freedom of speech. But complaining, just to be complaining, if you didn't care enough to vote for the elected official who is in office that is supposed to support you, your district, your state, you know what? You need to embrace the suck for the next 4 years or whatever the term is. Embrace that suck because you didn't take the time to go vote. And a lot of people, when they do go vote, oh, I'm just going to vote Democrat. Click, 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 click. And that Democrat might be the most wrongest, racist person that you can ever encounter. But what do you care? I voted for the president. I don't care who else is taking care of me here in my district. Like I said, if you didn't take time to vote, embrace the suck because it's going to be a long 2 to 4 years. Now, I don't want to sound like an a-hole, but let's keep it real. Some of y'all not smart enough to realize what's going on. Yeah, I said it. You believe everything that you hear. Oh, that sounds like a great idea. It must be true. I would actually say this. If you watch Fox News, because nobody reads anymore, or if you watch some different news, some channels are dedicated to Democrats, some channels are dedicated to Republicans. Bottom line, depending on your slant. It is what it is. And well, I'll be honest with you. And going back to that lady who was talking about racism, made her obese, she was actually surrounded by a lot of large women. But everybody knows the one that's barking the loudest must be the smartest, right? The one that's barking the loudest must know everything, right? That's not always the case. The one who's barking the loudest might be the most scared. That's how we look at it. You can bark loud, doesn't mean you spitting anything. And then they go, well, it's not the size of the dog of the fight, it's the fight or the size of the fight of the dog. And wrong. Sometimes it is the size of the dog because Chihuahua can be a bad mother scooter, but he'll go get the pit bull, gets a little whole head ripped off. So no, don't be believing that crap either. That's just not going to, no. I am not saying that there are not any, I'm not body shaming anyone because I'll tell you right now, there are some plus size women that can work it. They wear it well and they know. You can't tell them nothing. You can be a bad looking dude and you roll up, well, more than likely, you think you're going to just roll up on this plus size woman and because you a bad looking dude, you're going to get her. She's going to probably be like, nah, bro, you ain't even at my level and walk off. Trust me, it's called confidence. And just like women like men who are confident, men like women that are confident. I'm not talking about if you're all sloppy and you're looking any kind of way. I'm talking about a thick girl who's put together. She comes out with her heels. She's got her makeup on. She's looking proper because she never knows when that encounter is going to be. But when she does make that encounter, she's going to be ready. That's what I'm talking about. Not someone who's sitting there riding around a little scooter Walmart. Meet me. I'm not talking about that person. And once again, I'm not making fun or light of someone who has an actual situation. I'm just making light of or fun of the person who's just lazy and they know they're lazy. That's all I'm saying. Yet most Americans want you to feel sorry for them. They want you to say, oh, it's not fair that life threw me a curveball and I haven't been able to recover. You know what? Poverty happens to some people. And I'll be honest with it ain't because of racism. And it ain't because racism made them obese. That's not the case. Poverty in life happens in certain situations. The people who take that hit on the chin, stand up, and continue to move forward, those are the ones I'm talking about. They're the ones I'm saying keep pushing because you're going to get back to where you once were. But then you have the people who just sit back, I'm just going to take this knockout and because life is not even worth living and I don't care. And I'm just going to just be, I'm just going to be here. Now, I watch 600 Pound Life and I'll be honest with you, sometimes it just pisses me off how they feel that everybody's against them or the doctor doesn't understand what the situation they're going through. Yeah, he does. But you're coming to him for help and you're not going to tell this doctor, not Dr. Now. You're not going to tell him anything. But he understands the psychology behind it. He doesn't just quit on you. A lot of times people just quit on themselves. He just gets, you know what? Do it your way. And if your way is successful, then rock on. If not, I tried to help you. You're the one who put yourself in the situation or back in that situation. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times those people are burdening somebody. They're burdening their family. But the reason why they're burdening their family is because their family doesn't really want to turn their back on you. So they start to enable you. You see how all that just rolled? Something happened. Something triggered them to be in this condition. And they just stayed there. And instead of someone putting a boot in their behind, they're like, oh, poor baby. It gave them exactly what they wanted. And they give up on life. I guess that's just one way of doing it. But in the end, it doesn't help you. And yes, family will be the first to hold you back. they'll be the first to take advantage of you as well. That's a true fact. Only one person in the family, in my family, only one person really follows my podcast, and that's fine. I'm cool with it. I'm not one of those people, everybody gets a trophy. There's winners and there's losers. But you know what? I ain't got that trophy yet. My trophy is going to be when Joe Rogan calls me up and says, hey, man, I heard your podcast. Freaking excellent, man. I need you on the show. Let's talk about some of the things that you've been coming up with. Let's talk about your podcast. Let's talk about psychologics. That's when I get my trophy. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not riding nobody else's coattail, and I'm not quitting. Now, let me say this. I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect. Trust me. I've been tore from the floor so many different times. I wonder what the freak I was doing. I wear this little band on my wrist, and basically every 22 seconds, a veteran commits suicide. And I believe in that because there's times that I myself say, you know what? What's the use? Why do I even try? Well, then I look at my son and look at my wife and look at my life. You know what? No. I will continue to fight. So, like I said, and if this is one thing that anyone can hold on to, just understand every 22 seconds, a veteran commits suicide. So, just saying. Anyway, if you're one of those people who are just complaining to be complaining, and you're upset that you're living the lifestyle of the poor and fortunate, man, that's on you. That's on you. You're pushing that 2002 Lexus ES300 that you're making payments on at 120% finance charge. You think you're balling? You're not. Newsflash, you're hood rich. And hood rich is what? Low income. I'm sorry to say that. It is what it is. You can sit there and say that's a systemic issue that's pushed down from 400 years. Well, it may have been in the beginning, but now it's on you. But I guess we can blame the white man for our broke mentality, right? Then you have those parents living out the hopes and dreams of their kids will be that 1% and go to the league. Keep holding your breath because an estimated 60% of former NBA players go broke within 5 years of departing the league, and a reported 78% of former NFL players have gone bankrupt or under financial stress just 2 years after retirement. I wonder why. And if you're transgender, instead of just complaining all the time, how about you empower yourself with knowledge? Y'all tried to compare your movement to the civil rights movements of the 60s. No, it's not. You can't do that. We fought. Being black is not a condition. Okay, there's no dysphoria in being black. That's who we are. That is our culture. That is our race. And I'm not saying that just because you have identified as a male to female or female to male that you're not going to run into some challenges. You guys darn right you're going to run into some challenges. It's how you adapt and overcome those challenges will make who you are. And people will respect you when you come back. They say, oh, you this, that, and that. And you say, oh, you a B. See, I'm not cussing because I'm keeping it light. Everybody wants to run over a loser. Everybody wants to kick somebody when they're down. But you know what? Why don't you kick somebody when they're standing up? Why don't you do one of those low kicks in my leg while I'm standing out blocking and break your shin? That is the type of mentality you need to have, especially when you embrace life. Instead of complaining all the time, instead of acting like a little wimp, why don't you just man up, woman up, boss up? Yeah, boss up and run it like a G. That's all I'm saying. But if you want to continue to complain and go down that track, that path, transgender people, eventually you'll end up like us black people, killed in your own house by the police. So then you can say you're equal like us. Just kidding, but I'm not. By the way, that woman everybody was hugging and was forgiving is now putting the verdict, which may mean she could actually get off due to the fact of the death of the key witness who was recently discredited. But hey, I'm just a crazy vet. Yeah, crazy like a fox. I'm going to report on that a little bit later as it unfolds. So with that being said, please like, subscribe, follow. There's going to be more podcasts coming out. If you like that fire, I got plenty more. I have this rocking on 7 different podcast sites to include Spotify as well as iTunes or iPod. iTunes, iPod, whatever, or podcast, whatever they call it. But nonetheless, also here on YouTube as well. And please support the channel. And if you do like what I'm saying, if you find the content that I provide today very informative as well as entertaining, share it. But with that being said, this is Brian Matthews, Psychologics. This was In Your Face. And y'all have a great weekend.
The revolution will be live.